quick introduction, Devika is going to be an economics major at UC Davis this fall, right? And she will be sharing her tips and experiences from high school with us today. So now I can hand it over to Devika.
Hey everyone, my name is Devika, and like Rajvi said, give me one second, something happened. Yeah, like Rajvi said, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my high school experience and the college I'm going to be going to and what major I'm going to be pursuing. So as you all know, I'm going to be attending UC Davis this fall as an econ major. So let's first start off as to why I chose to pursue econ as my major. I always knew that I wanted to do something in the business field because my entire family um, does something to do with the STEM field, and I kind of wanted to steer off into my own direction. So I had taken principles of micro econ and principles of macro econ over the summer last year, and I really enjoyed the class. So yeah, and then I found the subject to be very enticing and interesting. So I thought of applying to a few schools as an econ major. And I also took econ my senior year as I was applying for a few colleges. So and it was just a really fun subject for me personally because I like learning where things came from and like the world current affairs and about the stock market. So yeah, and then I chose UC Davis because it was one of the schools that I applied for as an econ major, and Davis has always been one of my dream schools. So when I got accepted, I was very excited to say the least. So when the time came, I SR'd to Davis because I was in love with the program that Davis was offering and the school in general. And another reason why I chose Davis was because Davis was far enough from home for me to be independent and learn on my own, but also close enough for me to come back on the weekends if I ever wanted to or if I ever felt homesick. So yeah, moving on to my high school experience. I'm not gonna lie, the transition from middle school to high school was a little difficult for me because middle school is just so different. Middle school was very easy and I got easy A's all throughout middle school, but in high school I did not. So yeah, it was a little hard for me at first, but as the years went on, I started liking high school more and more. And something that I really love about high school is all the clubs and all the activities that are available on campus for students to do. And like, I kind of took that for granted my freshman year, so sophomore year. I knew that was something that I wanted to be more active in. And then my sophomore year, my friend actually approached me with an idea of starting a feminist club on campus called I Am That Girl, also known as IATG. And so a few of my friends and we founded the club on campus, and I was the vice president of IATG for 3 consecutive years. And I think that was probably one of the that was probably the best part of high school because I was part of something special and something so memorable. As a club, we got to organize events for our club members to be a part of. For example, we volunteered at the Make Strides Against Breast Cancer walk, and we also had a lot of discussions about current affairs, about feminist issues that are happening all around the world. And I was also a part of speech and debate and VC Union. And so if I were you, I would definitely take advantage of all the clubs and activities that are available on campus because you'll definitely feel like you're a part of something. And I know that sounds very cheesy, but it's very true. And also it just looks good on college applications. So yeah. And then something that I didn't particularly enjoy about high school would be the competition. I feel like that people are only motivated to be the best and not really learn anything. And essentially that's what high school is about, or just school in general is about. It's about learning. And, you know, I know a lot of people that want to get good grades just for the sake of getting into a good college or just being the best at everything. And that shouldn't really be your sole motivation in high school. And it's kind of to think that a few kids believe that's their only motivation to to be the best in high school. But that's like I said, pathetic, because they're not really learning anything, and it's just competitive and a stressful environment for everyone around them. And so my advice would be to not be competitive with your peers and just to do the best for yourself and not for others. Now, one thing I wish someone had told me before I came to high school would be to make time and moments throughout your journey with your friends in high school. While focusing on your academics is super important, you should also make time for your friends, because once you know it, you're going to graduate, your paths will split, and you guys will change later on, and you guys will go different ways. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. So it's super important to meet the right people, make the right friends, and make so many fun memories with them. Lastly, I'm going to show you guys what my schedule looked like the past 4 years. So it's going to be a presentation. Yeah.
Can you see my screen because I've shared the presentation here?
Can you say that again?
Can you see my screen because I shared the presentation? Okay. So just let me know when you want me to switch the slides.
Yeah, you can switch the slides. So my freshman year, before I went into high school, I took geography and I took Python. So I took geography because geography is a class that we need to take in order for credits and stuff and to graduate. And so I just want to get that over with, because personally it's kind of useless for me. So I just want to, like I said, get it over with. So I took that over the summer. And then I also took Python because I was still learning, or I still like thinking of what I wanted to be or what I want to pursue in college. And Python did help me like realize what I wanted. So yeah, and then in school I took English 1A, Math 2A, Biology, Spanish 2, PE, and Drawing. I also took Spanish 1 my 8th grade year in middle school, I believe. Yeah, I took Spanish 1 in 8th grade because I really love learning languages. I know it's kind of weird, but you'll see that I go on to take 4 years of Spanish. So yeah, and then I took Drawing because I had an open space, because I got to get rid of geography. So I got a bigger like opening in my schedule. So I took Drawing, and that was one of the credits that I needed to graduate. And what this did for me was it really like opened up my schedule more my junior and senior year, and it allowed me to take like classes I wanted to, and it gave me like a free period and stuff. So yeah, next. And then before my sophomore year, I took psychology because that's something that a lot of juniors take at our school, AP Psych, and I wanted to take that my sophomore year, but they weren't offering it my sophomore year, so I took it over the summer before sophomore year, and it also helped get rid of all the credits that I needed for social science. And then I took US history after sophomore year so that I could skip it my junior year and take classes that I wanted to, if that makes sense. And then I had my first semester, I took a 0 period comp sci. And that was also something that helped me decide what I wanted to major in. So yeah, and then I took English 2A, Math 3A. I took my first AP World History, Honors Chem, Spanish 3, and then PE. Yeah. And then my junior year schedule was a little weird because technically I only took 4 classes at the high school because my last two classes were at the extension. So what my schedule looked like was, so I would have first period would be AP Chem, then I would go to Calc AB, and then English, honors English, and then Spanish 4. And then after lunch, I would walk on over to the extension that's right across campus. And then I would take my classes that are being offered there for high school students. So my first semester, I took 6 classes. So the last 2 classes were criminal justice and American Sign Language. And then my second semester, I only took 1 class at the extension, so I only had 5 classes. So I got to go home early and stuff. I took Administration of Justice in multicultural communities. And so the reason why I took these classes was to, A, it boosted my GPA by a lot, and like 2, it gives me GE credits when I go to class, when I go to school, because when I go to college, I'm gonna have all these GE credits that I have to complete. So instead of completing them at the college, I completed them early on. Yeah. And then lastly, my senior year schedule, I took AP English, journalism, AP Stats, and then my first semester, like I said, I took econ, and then second semester I took American government, and then I also took physics and accounting. So yeah, that was pretty much what my schedule looked like all 4 years of high school. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. All right, so we do have quite a bit of time left. So I guess in the chat box, we can have all of our listeners who wanted to ask questions that they might have. They can go ahead and do that. So I guess I'll just allow like 2 minutes for that to happen. While that's happening, thank you so much for sharing your schedule with us and the tips that you have. So I think there were people that submitted questions on a separate Google form that we sent out. So let me just pull that up really quick, and then we can ask questions from there. Okay, so someone named, okay, so Sophia is asking, what made you want to go to UC Davis and not other colleges?
Yeah, so like I said, it was, I really fell in love with the campus, and I also really liked the program there. And yeah, I had gotten into like better schools, but UC Davis was one of my dream schools since freshman year, and it was also close to home, and I would live there and be independent on my own. But if I wanted to, I could come back. And I just, Davis is such an amazing school and has an amazing program for econ. And I'm planning on changing to managerial econ, and it's one of the top majors at Davis. So yeah, that's pretty much why.
So Noelle is asking, what do you think helped the most on your college apps?
I think for me, it was all the activities and clubs that I was part of. So like I said, I was a part of speech and debate. I was a part of I Am That Girl. I also did dance. I've been dancing since I was 5. So it was, a lot of my college essays were about dance and how it made me become the person I am. And so, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And so Rucha is asking, what's unique about UC Davis's econ program?
Okay, so the managerial econ program at UC Davis is one of the top 20 programs in the US. So that's something that was really really attracted me to the college, and I want to switch to that major. So yeah, that's.
And so she also asked another question. What other universities did you apply to?
I can actually pull that up if you give me like one quick second, because I applied to 18 schools. And okay, yeah, I applied to San Diego State University, San Jose State University, USF, which is University of San Francisco, Mills College, SCU, Cal Poly, Indiana University Bloomington, UT Austin, University of California, Santa Cruz, UC Riverside, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, UC Irvine, UC Davis, UCLA, UCSB, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Nice. So Noelle is asking, how important do you think joining clubs related to your future major are?
I would say it's not that important because obviously I was a part of a feminist club and it has nothing to do with econ. And I would definitely say that the feminist club did help me with a lot of colleges because, for example, for University of San Francisco, in my acceptance letter, they said that the one thing that really made me a good candidate for University of San Francisco was because I was so active in this club, and I was a part of like this feminist club on campus, and I was part of something that we as students created on campus. And I had applied as a business major at USF. So yeah.
Okay. And did you do any summer programs or internships during high school?
No, I didn't, but I did actually. I mean, it has nothing to do with my major. I just worked because like I wanted to make money. So I worked at Camp Galileo. It's a summer camp for elementary school students, and I was a summer intern there. But I was just doing office administrative work. That's it.
Okay, I see. Um, so oh Noelle saying cash money. Okay, that's fine. All right. So some of the questions, so I'll let anyone else who has any questions they can ask in the chat box. Some other questions we had submitted on our Google form. So how early did you start your college apps? Like what month did you start it?
So I started as early as possible. So as soon as junior year was over, I think I took like a 1 week break between junior year and like summer vacation, and then I started in June because I wanted to get it over with because I knew that senior year it was going to be difficult for me because I'm going to have to do the actual college application portion. So that would take some time, and so I started in June. I started writing my essays in June.
Okay. And overall, what do you think it takes to be successful in that major, in the major that you chose, so economics?
You know, well, I just hope I haven't really like taken the classes yet, right? I only took the principles of microecon and macroecon, and all I really know is just about consumer.
Stop massage. I'll do it for free. No payment. You don't even have to talk to me. I'm just gonna do it for
Sorry
you.
about that.
So yeah, all I really know about it is how consumers buy goods and how it affects the economy and how producers sell those goods or services and how that affects the economy. And yeah, I mean, I only know the basics of it because I've only taken basic classes. So I hope to learn more about that stuff.
Okay. So could you talk, so someone asked, so they asked like if you could talk more about the college application process, if possible. So maybe insight into kind of relates to Noelle's question. Did you prep anything else other than essays before senior year? So maybe like a little bit about the college application process.
Yeah, so I think the UC application had been open quite early, I think in August. So when I think other than essays, that's really all I did. In August, I just started the UC apps where I just filled out all of the information, like my SAT scores and like my GPA and all that stuff. So I didn't really prep much other than writing essays. So yeah.
Okay. So Sophia's asking, what career do you want to go into?
Right. I'm still figuring things out as like I'm just going with the flow, you know. I want to see how things are in college, or if I really enjoy that major in college. So, you know, things are always going to change. So I'm not really sure right now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so then Rucha is asking, how important do you think SAT, ACT, SAT subject scores, AP test scores matter in the college application process?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's very important. SAT subject scores, I didn't take any SAT subject tests, so I didn't submit those. But SAT and ACT, okay, so my GPA all throughout high school was really good, but my SAT score was really trash. So that really affected the amount of colleges that I went into. And also there are other factors like college essays and stuff. So I would say SAT is pretty important. AP test scores, as long as you pass, because I think AP test scores doesn't really help, or like doesn't really benefit or negatively impact you into getting into college, because essentially that's used for credits when you go to the college, and it all depends on how the college looks at. Because, for example, for Davis, a 4 or a 5 is only a passing score for the AP Stats, make like the AP Stats class, and I need to take stats for my major, so I need to get either a 4 or a 5 on my AP test in order to skip that class. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Awesome. So does anyone have any more questions? Please type that into the chat box. I'm looking, and yeah, so I don't think anyone else has any more questions. I guess we could just like wait 2 minutes. I think a personal question like I might want to ask you is like in the college application process, right? What was your method of like filtering out what schools you want to apply to, which ones you do not, and how did you do research into the colleges that you wanted to apply to?
Mm-hmm. So, well, it all depends on the major that you're choosing, because I know a lot of people have this perspective of there are bad colleges and there are good colleges, and that's not true at all, because each school is known for a specific major, and they're good for a specific or like whatever major is best for that school. So for example, UC Santa Cruz is best for engineering, and then UC Davis is best for law and for medicine. So I would definitely think that my major was a big part in filtering out what colleges I wanted to apply to. So I wanted to apply to some schools with a business major if their business major was better than their econ major. And then a lot of schools for the econ major if that was better than their business major. So yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, so we got a new question. Sophia, what will UC Davis do with the pandemic? So is it going to be online or?
You know, so for sure fall quarter is going to be online. You can go there and live there, but I'm not going to because I don't want to risk it. And also my roommates, we all decided it would be better if we stayed here and we would be living together starting winter quarter or spring quarter. But I feel like with the rate that it's going, COVID-19 cases are increasing. So it's very likely that winter quarter is also going to be online. So, you know, as of right now, it's going to be online.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And so I know we got this question earlier in another session, but how did you find your roommates?
So my roommates, I don't know if you guys know them. They're Pranavi and Danya. Pranavi I've known Danya since middle school, and Pranavi has been my friend since like sophomore year. And when we all decided that we were going to the same school, we thought it would be a good idea to room with people we know as opposed to like some random roommate, because I'm comfortable with them. So yeah.
Okay. So then another question would be when you were like, do you think the college courses that you took outside of just like, you know, high school, like over the summer and stuff, do you think that helped you or in your sorry, in your college session, like in your college application, do you think that really helped you, or did you write about it when you were?
So I didn't really write any college essays about it, but it did help me in a sense that it boosted my GPA by a lot, because I don't think that if I hadn't taken those classes, my GPA would have been that great. But yeah, so I mean, college applications, they look at your GPA. So it helped in that sense.
Okay. So then, if you don't mind sharing, what were some of your college essays about?
So I had 4 main essay topics, because each school had every school had like this like similar essays. So CSUs don't have essays, so I lucked out on that. And then UCs, they give you a list of prompts, and you have to choose 4 prompts. So those were the 4 main essays that I wrote about, and I wrote about leadership, which I wrote about I'm That Girl, and then I wrote about public speaking. So I wrote about speech and debate, and then I wrote about dance, and I also wrote about how I took Spanish all 4 years of high school, or not all 4 years, but I took 4 years of Spanish because I really enjoyed the class and how I'm able to like communicate with others and stuff. And then for a few private schools, they asked me questions about what do you like about our campus the most. So it would be for SCU, for example. I've been there many times for speech and debate, so I would talk about how I love the campus and I love it's so pretty, and everyone's just so nice there, and just really praise the college campus. One thing I would recommend is so they know that their college is good, and they know that their college majors are good. So try not to really say that too much in your college essays. Talk about why you would be a good fit in at the college. So yeah.
All right, and then looks like we don't have any more questions. I'm all out of questions as well because you answered them so well. So I guess if nobody else has any questions, we can end the call. All right, yes, I think that's what we can do. All right, thank you so much, Devika, for joining us today. And yeah, I hope you have a good college experience.
Yeah.
All right, bye.